Hi everybody, let's do another plan with me. Here's why we're doing this plan with me with incredibly cute shit. I went to my friend Sheila's house tonight to watch the Oscar nominated documentary shorts. I can't remember how many there were. All I know is they were all horribly depressing except the very last one, which is also the shortest one, I believe. I sat through all these things because we like to see them, because, you know, we gas on Oscar night, and most depressing things I have ever seen. I mean, we've talked about mental health. If I was not medicated, I could not have sat through those. And this is how I'm going to get myself over the feelings that are still left. They were they weren't bad documentaries. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying any of them don't deserve to win. I'm saying they were depressing as hell. Period. I mean, I tweeted in the middle of them going, trigger warning, if you have a trigger, you're going to find it here. And I might have to up my meds. So they're all very depressing, very sad. I just kind of feel like 2020 was a year when everybody had a fucked up life. I just kind of, can we choose one thing that's happy? Maybe, just maybe. It was too much. So, but I sat through them because I want to see them, but depressing. Sorry about the shadow. Can remember rabbits. All right, now I'm going to ignore that. So I decided to come home, and even though it's like 9 o'clock at night, I should be winding down, trying to chill out, because I've got a big work day tomorrow. Woo! Go my store. I just decided I needed to do some really cute shit, because it was a rough TV night, y'all. So this lovely, beautiful, cutesy owl thing, I love owls. Vintage Rose Studios. I don't remember if I bought this or if it was given to me, but it's adorable. And I like the faux glitter. I almost said fake glitter, but that doesn't sound right, does it? It's faux glitter. So I'm just going to start. Am I going to put these at the bottom first? This is always my dilemma. Am I going to start at the bottom and screw it up, or am I going to start at the top and screw it up? You know. Well, we'll just start with these. So, I'm not going to talk to you anymore about those documentaries because they were so sad. Every single one of them. And, I mean, to the point where halfway through you'll find out some contributing factor. It was already horrible enough, and now you have this other contributing factor, and you're just like, what the hell? Just when you think a story can't get any better, I mean any worse in this case, something else horrendous happens. It was just, oi. And I'm sure they've been like this every year, pretty sure. I'm sure that that's a big documentary short thing, is to have a sad one so people want to get involved. But, whew, rough bunch. And nothing, I mean, maybe one of them, something I didn't know a lot about, but the rest of them, things I'd heard of. But, damn, I tell ya, it was rough. So, I think next week, we are going back to, I should have cleaned my glasses before I started this. We're going back to Tell Me a Story, which I think is on Amazon Prime. It's just something new we started last week. It's like rewritten fairy tales, so it's kind of cool. We like that kind of thing. That's most of the books, actually the Kindle books. That's most of the Kindle books I buy. Those kinds of things. Updated fairy tales, or like mermaids. I already told y'all I'm a mermaid. So those are the kinds of things I read most of the time, although I read everything. Alright, I'm going to say one more thing about these documentaries. Of the ones that were depressing, the least depressing one was the one where the 94-year-old woman who was in the French Resistance goes to see the concentration camp that her brother died in. Period. Full stop. That was the least depressing one, except for that very last one, which is about a pianist. I mean, a composer and his grandpa. Now, if you've got a whole bunch of documentaries, I should keep working, I know, sorry. If you've got a whole bunch of documentaries and the concentration camp one is the least depressing, I think that says something about the world right now, honestly. Honestly. Because you know nothing about a concentration camp is ever going to be good anyway. So, as I said, I'm not saying none of these are worthy. I'm not saying any of these. Why did she make this one blue? And all the rest of them light colors? It doesn't matter. They're doing their job, and that's all I care about, really. They're trying to take my mind off depressing things. So what I did after that is I came home and immediately turned on Netflix and put on stand-up comedy. What I ended up with, it was all 3 Netflix shows that Nate Bargatze has done. Funny man. The kind of guy I would have been really attracted to. Except he's married and has a kid and is probably like 10 years younger than me. But that's most of the stars in Hollywood, let's be honest. Including most of the stand-up comedians. But he's very funny. I liked him a lot. He's very good at deadpan. And he's got these huge eyeballs. Just makes me want to pinch his cheeks. It doesn't really. I'm not that old that I pinch people's cheeks. What is that? Oh, that must be the smiley moon. Yeah. Okay. Please note I'm living dangerously and putting this at the bottom first. There has to be a crapshoot in life, and today this is it. Oh, I meant to tell you guys, though. This really funny thing happened. Not on the way to the forum, but in my house on Easter. My friends told me a joke. If you are a highly religious and pious person, and Christianity is not something you can laugh about, please fast forward about 30 seconds, because I'm going to tell you this joke. Now, understand, I come from a family where pretty much everything ends up being funny in some way, because that's how we get by. Life is horrendous, and we make jokes. So, a friend of mine told me this joke. She knows me very well. We grew up together. I mean, I guess that kind of, things change, but we're still friends. And so she told me this joke. And at first, I didn't realize it was an actual joke. And then I was like, duh, it's a joke. And I said, okay. And what she said was, what is the official beer of Easter? And I was like, is this a joke? Okay, it's a joke. And I'm like, I don't know, what is it? And she said, Rolling Rock. Now, if you are Christian enough to know why that's funny, great. If you're not, you know, the story about Jesus' resurrection is about the stone being rolled away from the mouth of the cave, and he was risen. So, probably the most pious person I know is my mom. Hold on. I forgot what I do with it. Sorry. Look, I found this. Remember I was talking about this before? Front side self-healing. Okay, good. That's what we want. So, I told this joke at Easter dinner, which was me and my mom and my aunt, because my daughter was in quarantine. So it was just the 3 of us, and I told this joke. My aunt laughed. She liked it. I laughed. I liked it. Even though I don't drink beer, I still got the joke. My mom, the probably most religiously focused woman, looked at me and said, I don't get it. Okay, now, she was having a bad brain day. I have them too, you know, and Alzheimer's runs in my family, so we worry about it. But she just didn't get the joke. I never thought that my heathen ass would be the one having to re-explain Christ rising to my religious mother. Period. It's not funny, but it's really ironic. So after that, we finished up what we were doing. We played a game, because that's what our family does on holidays. And then, just gonna check if I cut through that. Nope, almost. And then my aunt left, and I came upstairs and I watched Rankin and Bass, Easter Bunny's Coming to Town, and Jesus Christ Superstar, because Jesus Christ Superstar. But that's the thing. Oh, if you're back, I already told the joke. It's over. So it was kind of odd. And if you don't think that was a funny joke, I'm not going to apologize, because, I mean, I warned you ahead of time, right? So let's decide what we're going to do here. So anyway, that was Easter, and my aunt made these homemade, like, pecan turtles, kind of. It's like a giant pecan half with a Rolo melted on top of it. They're already gone. They were gone before 24 hours was even up. I couldn't not eat them. They were delicious. All right, do I want to put decorations at the top or listed? I will put listed at the top today. Will we? Do you want it to be top heavy or bottom heavy? We're just going to start at the top. I don't feel like messing about. So anyway, that was Easter. If you had Easter, I hope it was a good one. Serious Christians, please put your your fingers in your ears and sing la 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 for the next 20 seconds. Go. I'm the kind of person who calls Easter Zombie Jesus Day. And I do find that funny. I was raised in a church, y'all. I understand, but I find that really funny. So it's always Zombie Jesus Day. So yesterday was a good day, because it was Zombie Jesus Day. And I probably put like 4 different Zombie Jesus posts on my Instagram, on my personal account. So those of you who were going to be really disgusted didn't have to see it. So that was a good day, and I love Jesus Christ Superstar. I love that as much as the first time I saw it, which is pretty much the first time it came out on TV when I was very, very little. And I found that, wow, you know, life hasn't changed so much, because I still have a really hard time picking one of them to crush on. It's between Jesus, hello, Ted Neely, hello, Mary Magdalene, because she's a hot native woman, and Caiaphas, one of the ones with the like big funky plastic hats, right? The big round one. He's got a really deep voice, and I think that's always what did it for me, that nice long curly wavy hair. Anyway, so what I discovered is, in all these decades, not much has changed. Not much has changed. I still look at all of them and go, oh, yummy. Which is probably not the thing you're supposed to get from Jesus Christ Superstar, but that's what I got. And that's okay. I'm alright with it. So, I probably should have planned this better. Nah, we're good. So that's what I did for Easter. And then today, I went over and did fun stuff. And you won't be hearing this probably in the next week. So you'll be like, Easter, that was last month. Yes, it was. At that point, it probably was. I don't usually use these dark ones, because you can't really see what's on the bottom line, but it'll be fine. It'll be fine. So, start there. Not going to need those. Let's see what else we got going here. Oh, you know, you guys see already how I like to put little dividers in there. I don't know if we're going to this time. I didn't get any washi out, so I'm probably just going to make it work. Alright. So, Anyway, let's see how these are cut. Sometimes they're all cut the same size. That's always nice. Oh, these are the same size. Lovely. Should I use gold? Yeah, we're going to use the gold ones first, I think. So, my poor baby girl got COVID. She was sick for like a whole week, and she kept taking tests, and they kept going, no, you don't have COVID, you don't have COVID, and I hadn't seen her in, like, physically together in 2 weeks, so I was pretty much safe. But she had to quarantine, and for Easter it was her first day out of the house. She wasn't unquarantined, but her husband, bless his heart, took her on a drive just so she could be out of the house. And of course there's not a lot of people out because it's Easter and everybody's eating with their families. And I was worried. And if you have kids, you know, sometimes you're like, it's okay, they're adults, they don't have to answer me right away when I text them, right? Except, here's the thing. Knowing my daughter had COVID and being so scared about that, when she didn't reply to me for like till the next day, I was kind of worried. I was like, crap, do I need to go take her to the hospital? Her husband is working out of town. What if she's like half dead on her couch and nobody knows? So I like checked, I'm an idiot, I checked all her social media, because that's what you do these days, right? If somebody doesn't answer your phone call, you see if they're alive in the world by their social media. And I didn't hear from her, and I didn't see that she'd posted anything. And then the next morning, I sent the same text, which was, how are you feeling today, baby? And she answered me that time. She was actually feeling a lot better. Unfortunately, that probably means that she was feeling a lot better because she had already had it for so long before she quarantined. I mean, if your test comes up negative multiple times before it gets positive. Anyway, life's imperfect, right? Right. Okay, let's decide what we're going to do with these guys. I'm trying to keep this one relatively short. Alright, so we're going to do boxes next. Most of the time, if I have washi at the bottom with stuff on it, I'll put the boxes at the top, but I didn't feel like it tonight. Sometimes you just do what you want to do. So, how were you guys' Easters? How were you doing? Is everything fun and wonderful in your lives? I know there aren't very many of you yet who, what does this say? Dream big, be grateful, give love. I might color those in. Yeah, I might do that. Yeah. Okay, but we'll do it at the end. I'm not going to do it at the beginning. I feel like I have to use this because it's the only other dark blue thing. And we have that one dark blue. Half of me is going, now let's match these. So, okay, we'll do that. Pink, that one's going to go there, that one's going to go there, this one's going to have to be this one. I don't want to put two owls together. So, I don't know what's going to happen, guys. I'm just going to start laying stuff down. So, I've been working really hard on designs for my shop. So excited. And I'm using the family computer, which it turns out doesn't use Microsoft. So, it's got some other bizarre programs in it. And it doesn't have a good drawing program. So, I had to scan my stuff in, which is fine. I'm an old school kind of girl. That doesn't bother me. But then the problem was that, sorry, I forgot what I was doing. Let me do this. The problem is that I'm trying to figure out how to use this program, which is something I've never heard of. I mean, it makes no sense to me. And so I got all my stuff in the computer, but then it wouldn't let me cut and paste onto another document so that I could print out. So it's a little rough right now, but I'm getting there. But I have so many designs and I'm so excited. to show them to you guys eventually. What am I doing here? Anybody know? Anybody know what I'm doing here? I feel like I have to put more owls over there. So I shall. Anyway, I'm really excited, and I can't wait till you guys see what I've been doing. And when I do open, you're going to get some freebies just for ordering. And probably I might just send, you know, like the first 10 people that buy from me, maybe I'll just send you a special something. I haven't decided exactly what it'll be yet, because I'm still trying to get them onto the computer. So my choices are to figure that out tomorrow, or come back up here, draw everything myself, put them in one at a time, and then put them on, you know. I did already successfully do some headers, because, you know, you don't have to cut and paste those, you can just do them all. But it's starting to come together, and I'm very excited. So, I feel like I don't know. I don't know, guys. We're just going to put these down, and I'm not even going to think twice about it. So I had this really weird dream, okay? I had this dream that I started dating Chris Evans, you know, Captain America. Here's the thing. One, I mean, I don't follow him or anything. I hate Captain America. He makes me insane because he's so pious and nice. But I hear Chris Evans is really nice. But none of this matters because I haven't been watching the Avenger movies, nothing. So I have this dream that I'm dating him. Me. He's like 6 feet tall. I'm 5'3". He's very well built. I'm very round. I mean, hourglass round, but still, you know. It was a very weird dream. And I woke up going, why on earth am I dreaming that I'm dating an actor who I really don't even have any interest in as a viewer? I don't know. And you know that big to-do about how he accidentally maybe put a picture of his genitalia on Twitter? I didn't see it. You would think if I'd seen it, at least I'd be like, oh, that must be what my problem is. That's why I haven't thinking about him. But no, it was nothing of the kind. Although he just seems like a nice boy, really. And that tells you how much older I am than him, because I just call him a boy. Do we want the pink one at the bottom? I think we do. So anyway, really bizarre dream. And the thing is, I didn't get to sleep till 3 o'clock in the morning anyway. And then I had that dream, and I woke up just totally discombobulated going, what was that? What was that? I mean, I hope it wasn't me, like, astral projecting myself into his bedroom. And if it was, hey, Chris had a really good time, dude. I love your dog. Hope you had a good time, too. It's just things you don't expect to happen. Dreams are just bizarre like that, aren't they? You'll dream something that has nothing to do with anything in your real life. And then you're like, I don't even know where that came from. I mean, sometimes I understand, like, I'll have dreams like that if I've watched a movie. Like, I don't know. Whatever. But it wasn't prefaced by any movies. So I was kind of like, something weird is going on with my head. I'm thinking these are too light to offset these. I really like these. They don't offset them all that well either, but we're going to use them because they're pretty. So, I've been having really weird dreams about people I don't even know. But the part of the dreams that was really real is that I went to a party when I first met him. It was just like a, hey, come hang out and barbecue with us kind of party. And all the dogs in the place fell in love with me and wouldn't leave me alone and were following me around. And that is totally the person I am. I'm the person that will play with the dogs at the party and not even feel really bad about it. Because if someone wants to talk to me, they can come play with dogs, right? So that part made sense, but the rest of it I was just like, I have no idea what's going on here. None. going to be like that tonight. Tonight is my just do it and stop thinking too much. And I have to do this because otherwise I'm going to start thinking about those damn documentaries again. You guys, this totally freaked me out. Well, not freaked me out, but in retrospect, you know, they affected me a lot more than I was expecting. I'm usually good at just letting things off, but oops, that looks like it belongs here. That's okay, it's pretty. And so, I'm dreaming about actors I don't even follow. I mean, he looked really good, and I did, you know, look up some pictures of him when I woke up today. I mean, he's fit, right? His dog is adorable, and that's what I really care about with people. Anyway, let's be honest. In my dream I also had another pug, which I wish I did. I love pugs. I miss my pug. She died. It's been years now, mind you, but I still miss her. So, anybody interested in the Oscars? Who do you think's going to win? What movies do you think are going to win? Who do you want to win but don't think are going to win? I might put this one up tomorrow just so we can get all that. So please, come comment, because then it gives me something to talk about next time. Okay. Yeah, definitely comment. I don't care what you want to talk about. Talk about anything. Talk about what you're doing. Tell me what you're reading. Tell me anything. Anything. Because I can't just talk to myself over and over going, don't touch that, which I realize in retrospect is exactly what I did. You know, if I'd been thinking this through, I would have every othered these. Maybe I'll just look. I know I said I wasn't going to touch them again, but maybe I'll just look and see how they would look. Okay, let's just do this, because they're coming off, which is amazing to me. So good job, Vintage Rose Studios, at making it easy for me to take these off, even though I was telling myself I wasn't going to. Oh, I like that better. Don't you like that better? Kind of breaks it up a little. This must be really high up. I don't care. We're not doing that. I saw this picture of, who was it? Kat Dennings. She's a pretty girl. And that is apropos of nothing. Again, I don't know. So, go watch Nate on Netflix. He's in The Stand-Ups. He's the episode 1 of The Stand-Ups on Netflix. And then he has 2 of his own Netflix specials. They were very funny. Cute guy. And his daughter's adorable, of course. Looks like his wife, I believe. But I didn't see her that much, just like twice. Which is fine, because the wife is gorgeous too. I just think everybody has gorgeous wives. So if your wife is feeling like you're not doing enough for her, just send me your picture so I can say how nice she is. I'll just shout it out. Woo, your wife's hot. Congratulations. Maybe she'll be like, hey. I'm just kidding. That is not another service I provide, but I do like that better. Okay. This should almost be over if I hadn't done that. Alright. Let's do some half boxes. Ooh, they made me pretty ones and not pretty ones. I'm trying to keep this short. I know my first one was really long. I feel like I should apologize to people, and I'm like, well, if they cared, they just shut it off. And I noticed, you know, they give you their little stats. I know some people just shut it off. And one of my friends was like, well, I mean, it did start buffering a couple times. I was like, okay, I can take that as an answer. So people might have turned it off because it was buffering. I was like, you know what? Thanks. That made me feel better. But it doesn't matter. I'm just so excited. Oh, that wasn't very bright, was it? It wasn't. I didn't realize I had the pages backwards. But that's okay. It's going to be this one. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Meh. see, I've still got those, I've got those documentaries in my head, y'all. Now I want to talk about how horrible war is, and there's just no need for this on my channel. Okay, so tell me, I'm going to quiz you all now. Tell me what your favorite, 3, 4. Yeah, you just have to pick well. Okay, I'm going for it. Tell me what your favorite holiday movie is. Any holiday. Like, the Easter Bunny's coming to town. That's a pretty good one. I'm not saying you gotta pick that one. I'm just saying. It's a pretty good one. Let me think of some more. How about... No, I'm not gonna do that. How about... What's our next holiday? Just summer. Okay, summer blockbuster movies. New ones that are coming out, or previous ones that you really like. Like, for instance, one year, Independence Day came out, and I was just like, about it. But as the years go by, I like it a lot more. And for different reasons. At first it was, oh, the president's a woman. I liked that. And then it just became like, I don't know. Now it's just, it entertains me sometimes. Just to go, yeah. Some things do last. Okay, those are nice. Anyway, doesn't matter. We're moving right along. I'm about to sing a Muppet song, which was not what I was here for. Moving right along. No, we're not doing it. I'm gonna get sued. Alright, what are we gonna do next, guys and gals? I don't want to every other of these again. Probably should have just gotten out some, what's my word? Washi. I should have gotten out some washi. But I didn't, so we're going to make this work. And since I haven't dated it, it'll be fine. Let's see. If I use these... And you know I'm not going to use these bows because I'm not a bow girl. Well, you know, I don't know. Why don't you tell me? Remember that moment where you're just like, I have no idea what I was doing. Alright, I'm going to put these here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't have enough. I could put one of these on, even though I'm going to put them on the other side. Maybe I won't put them on the other side. Maybe I'll just decorate the other side. Let's just mix it up, shall we? Alright. I don't know what it is about me that always makes me start recording just as I get really, really tired. But since I didn't go to sleep till 3, I'm going to be up a while. You might as well enjoy it. Alright, so movies. In fact, we don't even have to do summer blockbusters. Tell me what your favorite movie is. I'm always looking for more movies, even though all my queues are very, very full. Those are like the new to-be-read piles for me. I mean, I still have huge to-be-read piles. But you know, like saying like, so many books, so little time. A to-be-read pile you will never get through. Yeah, I have a to-be-watched on Hulu and Netflix that are both just, I'm going to die before I see them all. The thing with me is if I don't binge watch something, and I watch some and I'm like, I'll come back later. I never come back later because there's so many other choices. It just doesn't happen. I don't know why. It bugs me. It does. It bugs me that I have huge lists that I'm not getting through. But, So movies. Tell me your favorite movies. I would prefer that I not have to pay for them. I can watch Amazon Prime at my daughter's house, and I have Netflix and Hulu, so And if it's not on any of those things, tell me anyway, and I can probably find a way to see it. I think that if I log back into my Netflix, I still have a DVD queue. I canceled that, but they leave it there just in case they can talk you into going back to it. And most of the stuff I wanted to see was on there, but obviously I'm not missing it because I didn't sign up for it again. All right, so let's do these. There's another one of those. I could do 2 of those. I'm going to be honest with you. I just sat down and went, I'm going to do this now. Oh, you know what? We're going to put him in the middle. And then we'll have 3 on the other side. So let's see how well I did with this. Oh, not perfect. Not perfect. Oh, this one's a little lower. That's why. Alright, yeah, you'll see I did my nails again. Woo! I don't know if you can tell. This is SC Just Blue You. And it's got like this lavender sheen that I don't think is showing up. But it's really pretty. And but my nails are really weak right now. So honestly, I'm probably going to get done here and then slap some glitter polish on top of them because that thickens really well. Because the pretty ones I had done last time peeled off. Oh, I mean, I peeled them off, but then I put on more stuff, but it's like that 24 hours in between. My nails just go, nope. Welcome to the shit show. And they all crack off. So, fun and games. Fun and games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is what I said. Okay, so these are different. So we will give the different ones a place of honor. I said a place of honor. You know what I noticed the other day when I was watching the Easter Bunny is Coming to Town? It's one of those where they've got Fred Astaire narrating it, and he's like a character. He's first he was the postman in Kidville, and then when the show starts, he's an adult, and he drives the little engine that could. But I noticed that whenever I see one of those where it's someone who's done other stuff, automatically I'm like, huh, I wonder what they're doing now. Then I want to like go watch what else I know they're in. Like, he's in Finian's Rainbow, which was always one of my favorite movies growing up. It was also my dad's. I think that's why I watched it so much. I don't think he likes it anymore, but I liked it because Tommy Steele is a riot. So last time I was like, huh, you know what I should do? I should see how that's going. I didn't. But there's always that chance that I'm just one day going to go, I want to watch everything I know about with Fred Astaire in it. Unfortunately, we are kind of a society now who wants new stuff. All the new stuff. Please. So, but I do have a copy of Finian's Rainbow. I also said yesterday that I was going to follow up my watching with the 10 Commandments, big Easter favorite, right? But I didn't. Here's why. Because, is that what I want to do? Just do it. Because the 10 Commandments is really long, and I have always, even though I am not a church kind of girl. I mean, I quit going to church as soon as I was confirmed. That was our deal with our mom, is we had to stay in her Lutheran church and get confirmed. And once we were confirmed, we could quit. My brother and I never went back. Right after confirmation, we were both like, we're out. We are out. But 10 Commandments, I've always loved it ever since I was little. Another one I've loved since I was little. Not because of the burning bush, not because of Charlton Heston. Don't even get me started. But because Yul Brynner was such a sexy goddamn man. He was. I watched a special on him. And I was like, oh, I didn't know these things. I mean, none of them matter. I'm sorry he died. And he didn't really even do that many movies before he died, but he was always just, when I was growing up, I was just like, oh, I love him. Alright. That looks looks good enough to me, boys and girls. Does that look good enough to you? The answer is yes. Just say yes. Okay. So anyway, I was going to watch the 10 Commandments. But here's the thing. I had a brand new copy of Jesus Christ Superstar. I bought it years ago, mind you, but it was new. And I took it out of the wrapping. It was like the 70th, 100th anniversary of Paramount or something, and they put out a special one. And I went and I put it in, and I don't like all that white space, so we're going to cut that off. I'm going to prove to you again that I cannot cut a straight line. Here we go. So I put it in to my laptop, and it played just fine, And it's a brand new DVD. That's actually probably the closest I've ever come to a straight line. Look at that. Are you impressed? I'm kind of impressed. Good job, me. Now, do I want the flowers up? Do I want them down? Do I want them sideways? Oh, the neighbor's pug is barking because he can hear me talking out the window. Hi, Memphis. Yeah. Now he's going to go crazy trying to find me. You guys just tell me when to stop, will you? You guys aren't telling me when to stop. We're going to stop here. I'll stick something cute up there. So, Yul Brynner. I don't even like the musical The King and I, but I've watched it multiple times in my life because King, Yul Brynner. Wow, I feel like this is very fast for me. I guess now we know. If I want to plan short ones, I need to be really, really exhausted so that I won't second guess myself so much. And then you can all get back to your lives. These are different sizes. That's okay. I'm fine with that. Big one up here. So Yul Brynner. Oh, I forgot these aren't the same size. I don't care. We're going to center them. Actually, this is what I want you to tell me. If you haven't already told me what your favorite movies are. Tell me what your favorite movies when you were growing up were. That's what I want to know. When I was really little, not going to lie, it was Romeo and Juliet with Olivia Hussey. And Camelot. And Ten Commandments. And all the Rankin Bass, you know, like Rudolph and Baby New Year and all those things. Those were all my favorites. So, what were your favorites? So let's start with when you were really little. Tell me what your favorites were when you were really little. Because after I got past really little, I have the most, I kind of think sometimes I have favorites, like a teenage boy in the 80s. But I mean, I was watching TV with my dad all the time, so you guys will, I don't know if I should get an award for this, but I have seen the original Predator movie with Arnold probably, literally, about 70 times. Yeah, I'm not kidding. My dad liked that movie so much that we watched it almost every weekend for a good chunk of my growing up years. And that was like what we did. Every weekend we watched it again. I've got that memorized. By the way, I also discovered yesterday that I still have all the words, every single one of Jesus Christ Superstar memorized. I was singing along last night and talking along, and I'm like, wow. Oh, that's what I was telling you. The reason I didn't get to 10 Commandments was because just as Pontius Pilate comes on, looking snotty with his gold leaves, it froze. The movie froze. And he's like standing on this cliff, and there's like all these blue sky and these clouds, and he's standing over here on this like promontory, and it stopped, and I thought for a minute, I don't remember them having him staring down at the crowd of people coming this long. And so I stared at it really hard, and I could have sworn I was seeing the clouds move. So I was like, it's not stuck. I was like, oh no, this is stuck. So I tried to stop it. It wouldn't let me stop it. I took it out of my laptop and it just stayed there. I was like, you're not even in my laptop anymore. So I had to, it said, we're going to restart this, something went wrong. And I'm like, fine. So it restarts, and I wait till it restarts, and I put it back in there, and I go back to the beginning of that scene, and it does the exact same thing again. And when it restarted, it didn't restart right. Just something about the computer was not working right. So I had to take it out, restart the whole thing. And then I took it over to my DVD player, which is in the other corner of my room, which is not where I was sitting, but I had to rearrange. And I put it in there, and it works fine. Of course it works fine. Of course it does. Now that I've rearranged my life and run out of time for 10 Commandments, it works fine. Anyway, that was my adventurous Easter. That's about all I did. Easter's not a big, because I'm not a big Christian, it's not a big Christian holiday for me. It's Zombie Jesus Day, and I made my mom an Easter basket. It's really just like a big egg. And I put her favorite candy in it. She's allergic to chocolate, so I bought her maple nut goodies, which she loves, and I've got to say, sometimes those are really delicious. So I bought her some of those, and she's like, oh, I feel bad I didn't get you one. And I'm like, meh, it's okay. But at the same time, I was kind of like, you know, she bought me candy last week. I'm fine. I ate it all already, but I'm fine. Oh, I forgot. There's 2 more. Why did I... Why? 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 It doesn't matter. You're going to leave that right where it is. Okay. So, as usual, I am used to putting this in here for my work hours, which I will do even though they're only work at home hours. Not in the good way. Alright, what else are we going to put over here? I'm going to put a couple of these over here. You know what else we're going to do? Because I think I'm going to have lots of room. Lots of room. I'll put these cuties here. I don't know why, guys. We're not asking the question why anymore. Just do or do not do. Sorry, that should have been Yoda. Do or do not. There is no try. Are we going to use both blue ones? Yes, we are, because even though they're different sizes, I don't think it matters, because, you know, I'm almost to the bottom of the page anyway. Alright, then we'll put this one on here. I usually put 3 of these, but since there's 2 with it, we're just going to put 2, and I'm not even going to worry about it. What else we got over here? Some bill dues, but I don't know what dates it's going to be at, so I'll just stick this aside. I should have done those in order, because sometimes order is a good thing. I really want to talk about those. I don't want to, but I can't seem to stop thinking about those documentary shorts, and I don't want to talk about them because they're all depressing. I already warned you, I don't want to talk about them again. This is why I'm doing this. Alright, so what I want is the movies you grew up on that you still like, or things that you think I should really see, because I am always in the mood to hear what other people are watching. And if you're not a big movie fan, you can absolutely tell me what books you're reading, because I love me some books too. Books more than people. Although I should stop saying that because I really do like people. You know, she says, after the fact. I would have liked to have that down there, but we're not going to do that because it's done, so quit messing about. Okay, I could put one more list down here. I've got room for that. Let me think about that. We'll go up here and get these taken care of. I do want to use this deco because it's so adorable. Look how cute those owls. And little moon. They're just stinking cute. Okay, so what do we got here? 2 days, to-dos, shopping, goals. Oh, you know, this is good to clean. This has enough stuff on here that if I don't use the to-dos, today's, which I never do, it'll still be okay. Now the question is, do I want these to match? No, because, no. Alright, so we're gonna to-do this one. And yes, I always do cover up the top one just because that's where they fit when they're at the top. Movies, movies, movies. Tell me some movies. I'm going to tell you about my favorite movie that was when my daughter was growing up. I don't know where I got this movie, honestly. It could have been anywhere. It was called Whales. And it was kind of, it wasn't, I don't think it was SeaWorld, but it was a place where they had whales. And this is way before we all knew how absolutely horrible this was, mind you, to have them in captivity, because that's the only way we knew them, is in captivity. No, we're not going to do that because I can use other to-dos and not use the same colors twice. I don't know why it matters. So, it was called Whales, and it like took you and watched all these whales do tricks and get fed and all sorts of stuff. It was her favorite. I mean, this is like pre-kindergarten when she was still really little. It was her favorite thing. And it was VCR because I'm old. And she was born when there were still VCRs. And, which doesn't make her old, by the way. She's not even 30 yet. And I would sit her down to watch it. And every time it stopped, it was probably 30 minutes long, maybe 45. Every time it stopped, she would come get me to restart the whale movie for her. Cutest little booger. Oh, she was awesome. She still is awesome. I didn't mean it like that, but you know. No, I don't want to put to-do there. I want to put this week there. Although I should just put this week down there. And then I can, you know, it doesn't even matter, does it? No, it doesn't. So anyway, it was called Whales. I still have it. I kept it the whole time she was growing up. When we moved back from California, I put it in a box. I found it the other day. I'm like, Genevieve, look. And of course, I mean, it's one of those things that's recognizable. Immediately, as soon as she sees the front, she's like, yes, whales. Yes. It is your favorite movie. It was her favorite for years and years, too. Till she got old enough to be, in love with other things. I, of course, never outgrew the loving whales part, but they're still my favorites. Okay, this week, to do, to clean. Shopping. And I've set them up that way so that I can decide which needs more room. I'm going to need to use that other one for reading. So I'm going to have to put it down here. Yes, this is how I make decisions, just off the cuff. Please get off of me. Thank you. So that was her favorite. So what was your, if you have children, what was their favorite? What was their favorite movie? Because I swear to you, I don't know where I got that, and it's a good thing it didn't wear out, because I never would have been able to find another copy. I've never seen another copy, honestly. She also used to watch the Joni Greggins. No, not Joni Greggins. That's the exercise guru that my mom used to watch. It's Joni something. Bartell? Joni, I can't remember. But she did all these really cute ones with like songs and stuff. She liked those too, but the whales were the winners. And it's got a picture. It's just like, I can't even describe it to you. It's a kind of a spring green, kind of mint, but like a dark mint green color box, and it's got an orca on the front of it. And it says whales. That's all. It's a good thing it never wore out, because I never would have found another one. And it still works, and I still own a VCR. So if she starts having babies soon enough, I can show that to her kids. I might even try to find it on DVD. It's old enough, I don't think it's probably anywhere else. But so I use this one again. It's the bottom. Oh, it's too long. It's okay, we're going to trim it off. I'm glad I remembered that reading thing, because when I went back to ever use this, I would be pissed. Like, I don't have room for my books. So, there was also this movie called Mumphy. Was it Mumphy? I think it was. It's this, it's a, come on, I need your brains. Use your brains for me. Animated elephant named Mumphy. And somehow I found a book of Mumphy, and I think a stuffed animal of Mumphy, like in a set somewhere. And the next thing I know, I found a video of Mumphy, probably in like Goodwill or something. and she used to watch that one a lot too. And just a little while ago, probably in the last year or so, she sent me a picture of the cover of the VHS, and she's like, "Didn't I have this?" I was like, "Yes, and you loved it." She goes, "I kind of want it again." So I found one. I found one for her. We now have 2 copies because then I found the copy we already had. But I'm saving that for our kids too. And if I have to, I will take them somewhere and have them put on DVD. I don't care. And the reason I still have a VHS player and a couple of VHS tapes is because my DVD and my VHS aren't in the same one. And they're relatively new. I mean, for VHS age. That's why I still have one. I wouldn't like keep it for no reason. Although I do have the Schoolhouse Rock on VHS, so I might as well keep it, right? So I can watch that. All right. So just tell me happy movies. Yeah, since depressing is what's on my mind, tell me happy stuff, will ya? Alright, let's see what we got here. Date night. I'm going to assume that I'm going to keep having, I already said this in another one, sorry. I'm going to assume that I keep having bestie date night on Wednesdays. Put it right there. After I put that down, I had to look and make sure it was on Wednesday, because, you know, I flipped them before. Laundry day, probably, but retail therapy, yeah, I should never do that again. There's a planner. We put planner on Sunday. Put kind of that. No, I'm not going to be able to write in that purple one anyway, so I should probably cover that up. Okay. I've got no garbage. I've got no. I don't know what bills I need. I don't know what I need, anybody. What's that? That's a grocery cart. That's cute, but I already used those. Pounds. Yes, I'll be going to my English vacation. Alright, doesn't look like I can use any of that. Cleaning. I've already got the words cleaning up there. I'm good with that this time. Bows. I don't like bows. Oh, I know what else I wanted to do. I want to make one of these watching. So I'm going to find one with a TV on it. Oh, I can do it in any of the colors. What color should I use? Blue. I will use blue here. Hey, come off. They're a little bit longer. They're a little bit wider than the other ones, but I'm going to be okay with that. Yeah, we'll be fine. Okay, this week, what I'm watching, to do, clean, shopping, reading, which I put down there, and that one's going to be work. I guess I'll use that purple one because it says work. I'm sure that eventually I will stop writing my work in this one, but right now, more organization is better than less. Alright, just had to look at my time. I hope to never have an hour and a half of stuff boring you guys to death. I only put it out that way because the first one out that way because it had taken so long to get it uploaded. I was just tired of waiting. It's just like I have to get out there. Alright, work, reading, watching this week, to do, to clean, shopping. And if I have more shopping, I can move shopping over here and you can use those too. Vice versa with this. Cleaning to doing something. Some days it's going to be watching. But these came up pretty easy, so I'm not going to worry about it. And if it fails, I'll just put another one on top of it. It's fine. So that's what we've got, guys. I kind of want to put something up here. Now that I'm looking at it from over there. What do we got here? Food, shopping, love. Yeah, that's the only one I needed. Oh yeah, I was going to put those guys in there. So, let's see what I've got. I love this purple color, but I know I'm not going to write on it all the way, so. Well, what do you think? I'm sorry. I need some more allergy medicine. That noise is me itching the roof of my mouth. I apologize. That's really rude. We're going to use these 2 little faces. Plop. Oops, I forgot they're not the same size. said you're going to move over. Oh, please, really? Ladies. Ladies. Alright, that's good. Alright, we're done. Let me look at this. Except for the deco. Alright, let's see. What do I think about this? I think this is pretty good. I actually kind of like the way this is all set up. I'm trying to show you the real colors. That blue is pretty much close to the real color. It's very saturated. It's beautiful. It's the kind of blue teal that I like. And these look a lot grayer than they are. But that's what we've got there. I'm going to color these in, but I haven't decided what color yet, so we're going to let it go for now. Let's put a little deco on here somewhere. I'm not going to put owls under owls like I did right there. I wasn't even looking at it. Should have flipped them. Doesn't matter. It's done. Quit touching it. Oh, this little cutie. I know, she's just facing the other way. It's not even that big a deal, but she's adorable. I kind of want to put her on top of the flowers. That's just wasteful. So let's put our sleepy moon. Let's just put her here. No, let's just put her here. No, let's just put her here. Yeah, we'll put her here. And then I still have room to write in there if I want, except no, because the owl's right there. Thank you, Vintage Rose Studios, for making these easy to pull up. See, but I don't think there's enough color there. I'll put it down here. Maybe I won't dislike it as much if it's not touching the owl. Okay. Little cute pink owl. Straw flowers. Flowers. I pull things off and I'm like, really? That might be overkill, even for you. I really want to use this little pink owl somewhere, guys. She's just so cute. I'll just put her right here, even though she matches that block. So we're still... Get off my finger. It sticks really well. Alright, put her there. Put this one on the other side just because she's facing that direction, and you all know how I am about those. I think I'm going to move the planner. Some of you saw that coming before I did. Put her here. I'll put the planner here. Does that make sense? Probably not. Let's just meh. Put it here. Just put it there. Alright. I don't think we're going to use the flowers. I don't see anywhere where I really want them to be. Oh my god, you guys, we're done. Yes. So there you go. That's what we're done with. Vintage Rose Studios. I meant to look to see if it had a name. I don't see a name on it. I'm sure it's adorable, whatever it is. So there you go. I don't know if this is available. I don't know where I got it. I don't want to know how long I've had it. It's very cute though. This kind of looks like, what the hell are you doing? It's like when you open a button box and nothing really matches. Anyway, maybe you didn't do that. I grew up with button boxes because all the women in my family were always sewing and doing crafts and stuff. We always had button boxes, really old buttons. Yeah, I like this. This is cute. So thanks for joining me. I will see you next time. And next time we will not even mention depressing shows. So like, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. Tell me about some movies down below. And I will talk to you next time. Be good to each other. Take care of yourselves.